Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I am Laura of LKG329 Sales on eBay, Facebook, Instagram, and here on YouTube. I've got another listing cleaning motivational type video for you today. This is actually part 2 of another video I did back in May where I showed you everything that I got on an April 29th sourcing trip this year, and I wasn't able to get everything in that video, so this is finishing it up, and then we'll look at the numbers at the end of what I spent on those items, the total listed value for those items, along with the total for the items that have actually already sold. So let's get to it. This footage begins on June 1st at 8:13 that morning. I started off by preparing and cleaning my workspace. I do work primarily from the eBay app on my iPad, where I research the comps and create drafts that include all the details I'm aware of, along with filling in the description and getting weights for the shipping information. The only thing left after that is to take the photos and schedule the listing. Those steps I do from the app on my phone. With the drafts already in place, I simply open one and start taking photos directly from the draft itself, so there's no importing or searching a camera roll for the correct photos. I have it set up so the photos I take in the app are not saved in my phone, so there's also no need to remember to go back and delete them afterwards either. Before I list the draft, I set up the schedule for when I want it to go live, hit the list item button, and it's all taken care of. For this day, I've picked up where I left off with the vintage Christmas tree Sheffield Regency gold dishware. There's enough pieces left for a 10-piece, 2-person setting, along with a set of 4 cups and saucers, and then a final set of 4 bread plates, so I'm getting 3 more listings out of these. I didn't find any comps for this brand with the Christmas tree on it, but I did find it without the tree, so I based my pricing on what those were selling for and then upped it just a bit, since these are apparently much harder to find. It could also just be that they're not a desirable set and no one lists them for that reason, but I'm going to at least give it a shot anyways. Getting these drafted and listed took 40 minutes to complete this morning. And now on to the next day. I have these patriotic themed Boyd's Bears figurines. I was a little disappointed with these after I got back home and unwrapped each figure, as a few of them were broken or too damaged to do anything with. At the sale, I just looked at the 2 or 3 that were on top and made an offer based on those. There were also a few in the mix that weren't Boyd's Bears and looked to just be some dollar store decor items instead, so I decided not to list those, since I'll be able to cover the cost and make profit on just the name brand figures. I'll probably put the dollar store items out in the next yard sale. After researching the 9 good figures that I did have, I decided to divide them up into 4 lots instead of just listing them individually. I felt that would be the better route to take and would also add a little more incentive for the buyers to make the purchase, as they'd feel like they were getting a little more for the money they're spending. had also purchased these 5D do-it-yourself paint by number activity mats, and while they weren't big money, they were patriotic themed, so I decided to go ahead and list them together since July 4th was just around the corner when I was working on this. There wasn't a lot of profit to be made, but they did sell at a profitable price, so I was really happy with that. All in all, I spent a total of an hour and 20 minutes this morning getting the items drafted, photographed, and the listings put up. And now on to the last day and the last item from this haul. This was by far the biggest item I had purchased that day, and I tend to hesitate purchasing electronic items like this simply because I have very little working knowledge of them, but I am glad that I got it. The previous owner said that it worked without issue, and aside from noticing a little bowing on the top, it looked to be in excellent condition. I did test it to make sure that it would power on and that the buttons and knobs worked as they should, but I couldn't test any of the hookups on the back. None of them looked damaged, but I did go ahead and put in the description that they were not tested. I gave it a quick wipe down and then did a bit of research in order to try and make sure the listing was as accurate as I could possibly get it. After spending some time doing that research and getting the draft created, it was time for the final photos and getting it scheduled to be put out as an active listing. The the total time I spent researching and getting this item listed was 45 minutes on this morning. And now on to some numbers. So first we're going to look at just the items that were in this video, and then we'll move on to look at the total number for the entire haul. So the time spent listing for the items in this video was 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I'm rounding that up to 4 hours to allow time for the sourcing as well as the shipping of these items. The total number of listings generated was 9, and at 3 listings per day, which is my current daily goal for new item listings, that gives me 3 days worth of listings. The total listed price is $246.91. The cost of these goods is $51. The estimated eBay fees, which I calculate at 13.5% of the total listed price. So far, that's done pretty good at getting me at least in the ballpark of what the eBay fees actually end up being. So for this scenario, my estimated eBay fees are $35. The estimated shipping supplies, I'm starting to calculate that a little differently now that we have the USPS Ground Advantage option for shipping items that are more than a pound. So I have upped that a little bit, but this does include boxes, tape, bubble wrap, shipping labels, and so on and so forth. The estimated shipping supplies for these items is $10, leaving me a potential profit of $150.91. And when you divide that by the 4 hours, it gives me a potential hourly rate of $37.73. But a couple of things to keep in mind is that all of my listings have best offer turned on, and the majority of them do sell at a best offer price as opposed to the listed price. And so that affects the potential profit, and it also affects the eBay fees, which in turn does affect the potential profit again. And then that, of course, does affect the potential hourly rate. And then there's also the little fact that taxes have to be paid out of these numbers as well. Moving on now to the total numbers for the entire haul. The total time that I spent cleaning and listing these items was 16 hours and 15 minutes. And I'm going to round that up to 20 hours for the sourcing and the shipping of the items. The total listings generated were 45. And once again, at 3 items per day, that gave me 15 days worth of listings. The total listed price is $997.46. The cost of goods for these items is $146.75. Estimated eBay fees based on the listed price is $135. Estimated shipping supplies is at $50, leaving me a potential profit of $665.71. And when you divide that by the 20 hours, the potential hourly rate is $33.29. Once again, keeping in mind that my listings have best offer turned on and I do still have to pay taxes. Now let's take just a quick look at what has actually already sold of these listings. So the total number of listings that have sold is at 14. The total listed price for those items was at $325.87, but the actual sold price for those was only $274.12. The cost of those goods was $53.06. The eBay fees came in at $54.63, leaving a profit on these listings of $166.43. Now, I can go ahead and I've got $93.69 remaining in the unsold cost of goods. So if I were to go ahead and take that from the profit, it gives a haul profit, an overall profit from these items of $72.74. And the remaining listings are listed at a total of $671.59. So just wanted to put that out there for those of you who do base your profit margins based on each individual item versus an entire haul scenario. And now to close out this video, here are the items from the haul that have already sold in case you're interested in seeing those, but this is all I've got for you in this one. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button to let me know, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well, clicking that bell so you can be notified when new videos are uploaded. Also, feel free to leave me a comment below if you have any feedback, questions, or suggestions. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.